We now welcome UFC featherweight Charles Jourdain. Charles, thank you for the time today, sir.
Thank you for having me.
We will take the first question from Nolan King with USA Today.
Okay.
Hey, Charles, I appreciate the time today, man. Looking over your record, I believe this is the first time that you've had the chance to compete in the United States in the fight capital of the world. Does this one feel a little extra special, maybe checking some items off the bucket list?
Yeah, it is. I always wanted to fight in Vegas. This is a dream coming true. Of course, the circumstances make it like a little special, to be honest. But I love it. The way the UFC are treating us, I almost feel uncomfortable. Like I feel treated as a king. And for me, I always see myself as a conqueror, not as a king yet. So yeah, it's special.
And coming into this one, taking you back to your last fight, in the build up to that one, you were coming off a loss. You might have felt like your back was up against the wall a little. Coming into this one, you're coming off a big win. Does it feel any different? Are you more confident coming into this week, or do you feel like you have to still stay, razor focused and not ride too high?
I need to stay sharp. I need to stay very focused because my mentality going into the duo Choi fight was like a do or die mentality straight up. But I need to keep that mentality because that's what helped me perform. So I'm not saying, okay, my name is written in UFC. I got fight of the night. I'm someone now. I don't sit on that. I need to prove. I need to still prove the world who I am, and I need to prove that it's not because I'm fighting the number 18 in the world at featherweight in my second fight at featherweight. It's a good thing for me. So I need to prove everybody that I'm going with the pedal to the metal, straight for the win.
And Andre Fili is a guy that's been around for quite some time. When you were coming up through the regional scene, was he a guy that you watched? Were you familiar with him?
Oh, of course, man. I've been YouTube has been one of my greatest teachers. So watching those guys from Alpha Male, Uriah Faber, TJ Dillashaw, Cody, all those guys, I've always been a big fan of their team, their way they do things. So it's gonna be weird. I haven't seen him yet, and personally, but it's gonna be weird. Like when I fought Duo Choi, having him in front of me in the cage, I was like, oh my God, that was when he fought Gobson, I was one of his biggest fans, and this and that. So yeah, it's gonna be special.
And fighting a guy like that, what kind of opportunity do you think you have here? I see a lot of conversation online saying, this upcoming card has a lot of, fresher faces, maybe not a ton of guys with ranked numbers next to their name. Do you feel like you have an opportunity here to really steal the show?
Yeah, 100%. When I saw the card, of course there are, because sometimes people expect like these type of cards saying, oh, they're going to be boring, but sometimes this is where you see some diamond in the rough. So I think I'm one of those, and I think it's a great opportunity for me to prove my worth. Yeah, straight up, I think no matter how big or how small the card is, I'm just ready to prove to the world who I am.
For sure. And my last question for you, if you go out there and you get it done on Saturday, where do you think a win will put you in the division? You think you'll end up with a ranking next to your name on Monday?
That would be amazing. I would love to be a top 15, but I'm not pressed for that. Like I said, I'm a conqueror. I'm not ready to be the king yet. I don't have the tools to beat those top 5 guys yet, and it's like humble way to say that I need to keep my focus and keep working hard, because when I'm seeing those guys fight the top 5, even top 10, even top 15, those guys are super dangerous. So I'm not pressed. I'm gonna conquer one fight at a time.
Appreciate the time, Charles. Good luck.
Thank you.
And we will take the next question from Jay Anderson with Cageside Press.
Hey, thanks very much. And Charles, first of all, I wanted to ask, Quebec has more than half of Canada's COVID-19 cases. It's been pretty hard hit, even worse here than in Ontario, where I'm at. So I'm just wondering what the mood's been like there and how that's kind of impacted your camp.
Of course, it impacted the camp in a way that I didn't have full gyms. I had one gym where it was okay for me to train at, but for most of my camp, I've been training outside with my brother, like literally wrestling in the grass, doing jiu-jitsu in the grass, sprinting outside. It was something very fun for me to do. And some fighters like say I prefer air conditioning, tatami mats, and this and that. But me, I like too much my sport to stop doing it because of the current situation. So me and my brother find ways to train. And then Fabio Olanda, my jiu-jitsu coach, steps in and found us a place with some guys who were negative. And we worked really hard. And I have no excuse after this fight. I'm not going to say, oh, the whole pandemic thing. I didn't have a proper training camp. I didn't have this. I'm not a complainer, man. I did the best I could do with the current situation.
And this is going to be a different kind of fight because it's coming in an empty venue. And we've heard a lot of fighters actually say they prefer that. What are your thoughts on it?
For me, I'm a performer. Like I'm not basing my style on what people's like, but I'm kind of blessed that my style, people like it. I always finish my fight. I'm flashy. I love it, and I'm fighting the way I want to fight. Plus, it pleases the crowd. So of course, I love it when the arena is full. But it's gonna be something special. I like throwing kicks a lot, and there's something like pure when you kick someone or you punch someone, you can hear that little noise. So I can't wait to perform under these circumstances without no crowd cheering, just nothing, and I'm gonna hear what his crowd, I'm gonna hear what his corner is saying, and he's gonna hear what my corner is saying. Hopefully, my guys keep speaking in French, and we don't know what I'm about to do. But yeah, it's gonna be special.
When we spoke to Andre earlier, he was asked what he has to watch out for from you, and he mentioned, you're a guy who likes to spam flying knees. What do you have to watch out for from him?
Level change and traps. I don't think his wrestling is that good, but it's all about timing. And Andre Fili's timing is second to none, I think, in the featherweight division in the takedown. Like it's not forcing them; he's just always timing it perfectly. So, me being the unexperienced fighter against him, this is something that's probably going to work in his favor. So he's going to lay some traps here and there, and it's my job to stay vigilant and not. I need to be wild. I need to be me to win. I lost against Desmond Green because I said I'm gonna fight like a UFC fighter. I'm gonna be prudent. I fought like someone I was not. That's why I lost. So I'm not doing the same mistake twice. So I'm gonna stay me, more sharp. My jiu-jitsu has improved so much. I've been getting my ass kicked at the Montreal Wrestling Club by these super Olympic wrestlers, and yeah, I can't wait to show my improvements.
You did take the green fight at lightweight. Is there any plan at any point? Because a lot of people have been going up in weight during the pandemic. Are you just staying the course with featherweight?
Oh yeah, of course. Featherweight is my weight. I walk around 156. When they called me for the Desmond Green fight, I was 152 or 153. I'm a small guy. I don't have like that man muscle yet, but I'm getting bigger. I like it.
And last one for me, we saw Felicia Spencer fight last week and obviously didn't go her way, but you're another young Canadian star in the UFC now. What's that kind of feel like to be at the front of that wave?
Total motivation. When I saw Felicia work her way through the rankings, she fought Cyborg, she fought Amanda Nunes, and she got big hits from these fighters. And when Amanda Nunes or Chris Cyborg hits you, most of the time girls would go down, and she didn't. So it was something I was excited about, and I'm very proud to be Canadian and very proud that she represented us the way she did. Even though she didn't get the results she wanted, people now know Felicia, and they know you can take out that girl. She's a fighter.
All right. Well, thanks very much for your time and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
And we will take our next question from Zach Pakleb with UFC.com.
Yes, sir. Oh.
Yeah, so it gives me a little bit.
I keep looking at the
Yeah,
camera.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you talked a little bit about how exciting it was to get that first UFC. How much of almost like a relief it was to, especially after losing your debut, to get that over a guy that, like you said, you've been watching for a while.
Yeah, getting that win was enormous for me because, like I said, I was in a do or die situation. I feel like if I would have lost this one, maybe the UFC would have said, "Oh, okay, maybe that two-weight world champion from Canada it was just hype," and I wanted to prove that I was not. And yeah, when like it's easy to get. Some people say it's easy to get to the UFC. It's harder to stay in the UFC. So I 100% agree with that. And I was like, yeah, I made it to the UFC. Then I got my first loss, and I'm like, if I'm losing this one, I'm out. So the relief of pressure was enormous. Plus that 50 G's helped a lot.
I'm sure. So obviously, Andre Fili, like you said, another veteran, a guy who's been around.
Yeah.
And he's well-rounded. So what about him allows, like, what kind of statement are you excited to be able to make because of the skill set Andre Fili has?
The statement will be simple. It's my second fight at featherweight. He's the number 18 in the world, so it's a big step up for me. I'm not taking any shortcuts. I'm fighting the best of the best, and I like it this way. And yeah, I think man, if you look at my records, duo Choi, then Andre Fili with a W next to both of these names, I mean, how can you not agree that I'm coming for the goal at some point? So yeah, I'm excited, really.
Those will be two big names, but you said earlier, you're not in a rush to get up to the top five. Where does that patient approach come from?
It comes with the humbleness of looking at my skill set and looking at other fighters' skill set. I'm kind of intimidated by all those guys in the top 15, which is a normal thing, and I'm being real about it. And if you know you're weak at some point, you know you can get stronger. So I'm not gonna be out there saying I can beat everybody in the world. I I would love to fight everybody in the world, but for my skill set, I need to improve. I need to stay sharp. I need to stay focused.
Was that something you learned along the way, or has that always been like that humbleness has always been part of you?
It's always been part of me, and I've always been super respectful, super real. At the end of the day, if I'm fighting someone who terrorized me, I was open. Like at the end of the interview, I against my fight against Alex Morgan, he was like the best Canadian out there, and I finished him in one round. And I openly said that at some point, some nights I was crying because I was terrified fighting someone like him. So I'm not taking any pride in saying I'm crying, but I'm just being real. Like that's how much pressure I'm putting on my shoulder just to make sure I perform the best I can.
So how do you get through that mental the intimidation? It seems like you're very accepting of it. So what's that process like as you work through that to get into the cage and perform as well as you do?
Excuse me, can you repeat the
Yeah.
question?
How do you get through the intimidation, that fear factor, to perform as well as you do once you get inside the ring?
I'm always creating an image of my opponent, my enemy, like so much bigger than they actually are, and I will keep on doing that. Like when I was fighting anybody, I'm always almost having nightmares of it because my mind is creating a monster who's fighting against me, and then as soon as I get hit by them, I'm like, okay, he's a human. I can hit him. I can like when I knocked down Duo Choi at the end of the first, I'm like, okay, you knocked me down, but I can knock you down also. So you're a human after all. So I'm creating those big like disgusting image of my opponent, and then I manage to overcome it. So I'm like I said, I'm terrified of Philly. I admit it, I'm terrified of him, but as soon as we get into the ring, I'm gonna have him in the clinch, and I'm I don't know, we'll see. I'm scared, but I love it.
So obviously you have multiple fights under your belt at this point, going through that process.
Yeah.
What was that like early in your career?
Same thing. The fight that I performed the best were the fights that I was terrorized. I was putting all that pressure on myself. The first time I fought professionally was actually in Thailand, in like a small place with dogs walking around, like nothing sanitary. And I fought a guy who was like 30, 40 pounds bigger than me, and I knocked him out. And I was so scared, but I performed under that pressure. So it's important to be scared. It's important to be stressed, and it's important to embrace it so you can use it as a weapon.
And the last thing for me, like, again, there's unique circumstances around this fight. There's not going to be a crowd or anything. But as you're walking to the octagon without the crowd cheering or that whole process, what's going to be going through your head as you go through, get your prep point stuff done, and walk into the cage?
I cannot predict it because it's the first time for me. I always fight it in front of big crowds. When I was fighting in Canada, I was always main event, co-main event. I was always like the headline guy, so always big crowds. So yeah, it's going to be special. Like I said, when we're gonna fight, if I hit him and I hear that little pop, the noise, this is for me. This is like a very good feeling when I feel my shin connect to someone, plus the little snap. There's something violent, there's something pure about it that I truly enjoy. So yeah, it's going to be a first for me, but I think I might enjoy it. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Charles. That is all the questions we had for you, sir. You are good to go.
Thank you very much.